Hello, everybody. My name is Professor TK the Chemist, and I am going to do a video today on the science behind Jussie Smollett's bleach attack. Today, we're going to analyze the Jussie Smollett situation where he was allegedly attacked by some racist individuals wearing those MAGA hats. Make America Great Again. And I don't mean to make light of this situation because no one should be attacked because of their sexual preference, however, or their racial ethnicity or their religion. However, we can tell that based on some things that have circulated on social media, some folks are just not believing him. So he said that he was attacked by two people who were yelling out racial and homophobic slurs and poured an unknown chemical substance on him. Now, he says that one of his alleged attackers also put a rope around his neck, and this was according to some police reports, and they both fled the scene. He took himself to the Northwestern Hospital and is in good condition. The reason why we're going to talk about bleach is because that was what was initially reported by the media, according to a prior police report. So, at this time of the report, they are now saying some unknown substance because if we really look at the science behind bleach, Clorox, or the like thereof, some folks aren't too sure if you can truly walk around in sub-degree temperature in Chicago at 2 o'clock in the morning and still be able to use it. So let's go ahead and go behind the scenes of bleach before we give out our scientific perspective on this viral situation. So is Clorox, aka liquid bleach, is it dangerous? Let's talk about it. So as a chemist, we have to go by material safety data sheets. And as you can see on the screen here, there are some samples of what the material safety data sheets tell us. Now on the right, you will notice that there's a word highlighted in blue, and it's called sodium hypochlorite. Okay, so I'm going to kind of delve a little deep about that, and so you all can understand what this is all about. Now, before we get started, allow me to introduce myself. I am affectionately known in my community as Professor TK the Chemist. Why? Well, let me run down some of my stats. I am a two-time award-winning college chemistry and biology professor for over 30 years of having that combined teaching and educational experience. I have a bachelor's in professional chemistry from the best university ever, North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. Aggie Pride. Yes, I got to throw that in there. And I also have a master's degree in life science with dual concentrations of biology and chemistry. Go Terps! And since 2001, I have provided hands-on STEM adventures to kids of all ages. I've traveled over 750,000 of miles to teach STEM activities, ranging from chemical concoctions to forensic science. We've even highlighted the solar system, and we show kids how they can dream beyond the Milky Way galaxy. We are able to impart motivational techniques that get kids hyped up about taking chemistry in high school and not to run away from it. And I also impact confidence in my college students because a lot of them are going into nursing, and I have to give them the confidence to let them know you can tackle this chemistry course. It is not as difficult as you think. Don't be scared, just do it. So with that being said, let's get down to this content, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what is bleach made of? The main ingredient in bleach is sodium hypochlorite, which is very corrosive base. Chlorine, sodium hypochlorite, calcium hypochlorite, and hydrogen peroxide are commonly used as bleaches also. So if you look on the back label of your Clorox bottle, you can see some of this stuff. Okay? So again, here are some of the ingredients in case you want to see them on the screen. There you go. Now, we also need to delve into the history behind bleach because the way it became a process and how we use it today in our system is very important. Okay, so if we look at this, we know that the ancient Egyptians, the Greeks, and the Romans, and the British was doing this before it was popular. They used sunlight as the main method to bleach their fabric. So if we want to rock with the Egyptians and the Romans and the Greeks, we know that they were doing this long before we even thought about it. However, in terms of modern times, or at least the 1700s, the discovery of chlorine in 1774 by the Swedish chemist Carl Wilhelm Scheele, and the demonstration of its bleaching properties, sodium hypochlorite, an active ingredient of bleach, was also discovered in 1785 by the Italian-born French chemist Claude Barollet. Now, he developed this liquid cleaning agent that contained sodium hypochlorite that could bleach things at room temperature by passing chlorine gas through a solution of sodium carbonate. And if you look at the formula of sodium hypochlorite, it has sodium, the chemical of sodium, Na. Okay, let me bring back this picture. You also see chlorine, and you also see oxygen. Those are the three elements that make up sodium hypochlorite. And it comes about because of that carbonated part of the formula. Okay. Now, if we also delve a little deeper into this, chlorine bleach was first used to disinfect water in 1895 for the New York City's Croton Reservoir. So, using bleach has been used in a lot of different ways and for a lot of different reasons. Now, let me give you all the dirty though about using bleach. Some people have used bleach to bleach their skin, sadly. And I'll show you some pictures so you can see. And in fact, you may have seen pictures like some of the men and women who want to lighten up their skin tone, so they use bleach. And people also use it to lighten up their hair. They've also used it to bleach food, such as sugar. And I'm sure many of you all didn't know that. Now, and bleach can also be used to deodorize and remove stains, okay? But people also use it to lighten their teeth or to whiten their teeth. Bleach is the common name for the solution when they use 2.5% sodium hypochlorite in water. So the bleach that we use, if you open it up, the shelf life has an expiration date. On average, about 20% of it loses its effectiveness, okay? And if you think about how bleach loses its effectiveness, well, one of the things that tends to happen is bleach comes in contact with the environment. Okay, so there's all kinds of chemicals in our air. And as a result of that, you have bleach that can actually reduce its usefulness. However, people do use it, stronger versions, other than what's in your home. They use stronger versions like 10 to 20% bleach in hospitals and laboratories and other settings where you need sanitation at the upteen level. Okay, so if you use a higher level of bleach, you're going to get rid of certain microorganisms. I know they also use bleach even in the pools because people be peeing and doing all kind of things in the pool. So you got to have bleach, and bleach is very, very, very strong, a very strong base. So if you think about it on the pH scale, you have things like acids and bases. Things like lemons and vinegar, that's considered to be an acid. But then if you have baking soda, toothpaste, soaps, those are considered to be bases. So if we're talking about using household bleach, such as what was allegedly doused on Jussie Smollett, we can say a little bit of soap and water would be okay to wash off his skin. So the real deal on Clorox that everybody wants to know is, if he was doused with Clorox or bleach, what happens? Is it dangerous? Will it kill you? What happens to your skin? So let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. Can you freeze it? Because I know a lot of people have been asking or saying bleach doesn't really work in sub-temp degrees, okay? So let's talk about the elephant in the room. First, we need to understand, what is the freezing point? So here's the definition that you guys need to know. When you have a liquid that can change to a solid, we call that what? Freezing. That's any first grader can tell you that. You take some water, you put it in the freezer, it turns into a solid. We get ice. So if the temperature of a liquid is lowered, the reverse process takes place. So you have what's called kinetic energy, okay? That if it's lost, the particles slow down and the attractive forces pull the particles close together, thus creating the freezing. A liquid changes to a solid at the freezing point, which is the same temperature as its melting point. Hmm. So, let me give you another example to kind of help you digest that. If we take, let's say, water, okay, or let's say ice, and then you melt it at 0 degrees, when heat is added, what tends to happen is that it freezes at 0 degrees when heat is removed. So during a change of state, the temperature of a substance remains constant. Now keep in mind the freezing point of, let's say, sodium hypochlorite solutions, 12% specifically, has about 9.4% of salt due to the manufacturing process of chlorine. So the freezing point of that would be about 15.3 degrees Celsius or 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And the freezing point would be negative 15.3 degrees. Okay? So if we take a look at salt, which is one of the main ingredients in bleach, the freezing point of pure water is 0 degrees. But that melting point can be depressed by adding a solvent such as salt. So the use of ordinary salt like sodium chloride on icy roads in the winter helps to melt that ice on the roads by lowering the temperature, lowering the melting point of the ice. That's why they put it down the night before. Okay? Another example is when I make my famous spinach ice cream, homemade ice cream, anyone? We tend to use rock salt. And as you can see on the left, those rock salt crystals are a lot larger than the salt that you find in your cabinet to cook with, because rock salt tends to make cool down or lower the temperature a lot quicker. And whenever I use my ice cream maker, it tends to have like a metal can in it, and that's where I pour all my ingredients in. And then I also layer it with ice and salt, and that's how you actually form this solid of ice cream. So if we really want to talk about getting back to Jussie Smollett, whether or not he was actually attacked using Clorox, um, the verdict is still out on that, okay? Because bleach can freeze in temperature this cold. So let me show y'all a quick clip on the temperature in Chicago on this past Tuesday.
Mary Kay has been looking at this all day long, and we see this forecast is going downhill.
Right, now we have the wind chill warning in effect until noon Thursday. The feels like temperature will range anywhere from 30 to 55, even 60 below at times, meaning frostbite can form on exposed skin in less than 5 minutes. As we take a look at the temperature trend with the wind chill, the bottom row in purple, that line is showing us the wind chill value of what it will feel like. So first, Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning is going to be the coldest because we expect high winds. So we're expecting about 45 below on average. Thursday morning, still incredibly cold wind chills, but a little better than we'll see in the morning tomorrow, just because by Thursday morning, the winds start dying down, but that core of the cold air mass is still over us. As we look at the feels like temperature forecast plot, by daybreak, we expect to see from Aurora to McHenry to DeKalb, those areas in Kane County and up to the north and west will probably see the coldest air out of anybody. Otherwise, 48 below in Valparaiso, 46 below Rensselaer. Even during the day, look how temperatures stay well below zero, 30 below much of the day in most places as we get into the late day hours. Better visibility now than we had earlier this evening as the Arctic front came through and gave us those gusty snow showers. Now we have a clear sky at Midway. A temperature of 6 below with a feels like of 28 below and gusting to 28 miles per hour. So as you look at the next 12 hours, look at the feels like temperature 50 below at 8 a.m. At 11 a.m., 46 below. Temperatures right now, these are just the actual temperatures. Oak Lawn, 5 below. Whiting, -4.
All right, so the question is, can bleach freeze in this type of temperature? If you're doused with bleach, is anything going to happen to you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, my verdict is he would be all right if he was doused with bleach. And from the pictures that we've seen on social media, um, if they, of course, if they put it in his eyes, that's a different story. If you have like flesh, let's say you have a cut or a bruise and you pour bleach, yeah, you're gonna have some issues and you would need to seek medical attention. But whether or not he was attacked or not, I'm gonna wait just like you guys are to see if that is true. All right. So I just wanted to kind of keep it short and sweet and to the point on this show, and you will find that I'm gonna go behind the scenes on a lot of these stories that we come across. I have another story that I'm working on about the heavy metals that they found in a lot of the drinks that our children tend to consume. So, what's going on with that? I'm going to talk to you all about that later on. So, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. Share this out with your family and friends. Until next time, this is Professor TK the Chemist. I want you guys to be optimistic. Listen to the voice of reason. You should remind yourself every single day that you can, you will, you must. Never let anyone lower your vibe, ladies and gentlemen, just because they aren't where they need to be. Have a great day, and remember to educate your mind, body, and soul with words and thoughts that will empower you. The library is free. You don't have to have money to go to the library. Malcolm X once said, education is your passport to your future. Young people, elders, get up, get out, and get some knowledge. You need to learn something new every day. I love y'all to life. Peace.